Hello, and welcome to 100 Points in 30 Days Summit, where we address individuals who need to add 100 points on their credit score in 30 days or improve their business credit score in 30 days. Now, I've rounded up several top professionals in the niche of personal and business credit education, finance, business development to help with this issue. My name is Emmanuel Mike. I'm a former radio host of a top entrepreneur show in Mississippi, Texas, and Tennessee. And today we are here with a gentleman all the way from Jackson, Mississippi. He has been in the field of business development for years. He holds an MBA, Master's of Business Administration, and is the president and CEO of C Consulting Global Corporation. Help me welcome to the summit, Mr. Merdith Corley. Mr. Corley, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Man, we appreciate you being able to hop on and give the listeners some nuggets today. Just tell a little bit about, where you're from, how you got started in business, where you went to college, because, you got years of knowledge. You've probably forgotten more things than a lot of the listeners have even learned up to this point. I know you have with me, so just tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, again, my name is Merdith Corley. I am the president and CEO of C Consulting Corporation. C Consulting Corporation was started back in 2001 up in Chicago, Illinois. That organization primary focus was to be able to assist small businesses as its niche. But we have since developed itself to not only accommodate small business, but large businesses as well, with business coaching involved in that. Now, my background, just a little bit about it, I came from the corporate world. I was working for the Bank of France at one point. To start my career, I worked for Dun & Bradstreet. I worked for a multi-billion-dollar corporation named Motorola Corporation, in which I've done global travel in terms of teaching and developing how to do business with major corporations and to start businesses as well to meet those type of guidelines. I've worked with a number of small businesses throughout the United States, and as of today, I have headquartered myself in the state of Mississippi. Now, my background has already been stated. I did do an MBA study at Keller Graduate School. I also did MBA study in project management through DePaul University. And of course, my undergraduate degree came from the Jackson State University here in the great state of Mississippi. So those are just a few nuggets about myself. I've been in this business assisting not only small businesses dealing with the industry of construction, finance, any industry that you can think of, nonprofit corporation, farmers, any industry that you can think of, I've touched at some point.
Wow.
So that's just a small tidbit.
Hey, man, that is amazing, amazing. One of the things that stuck out is you say that you did some work for Dun & Bradstreet. And yeah, a lot of the listeners who's probably going to be just watching this interview right now, they have challenges when it comes to building business credit, or, no one really taught them what they need to do when they get started, or we have an idea. We just think it's just as simple as incorporating with the Secretary of State and renting out an office and we in business. But it goes a little bit more in detail if you ever want to grow and build that business. Now, what kind of challenges have you found with, small businesses that are looking to grow, but they've already started on the wrong foot?
Okay, that's not an uncommon situation for most small businesses. Most small businesses start with a dream and idea, and those that succeed, believe it or not, are those that operate primarily on their own gut feeling. Now, once they get into business, then they begin to understand to move to the next level, a structure is needed. And when I say next level, what I mean is dealing with tax liabilities. What I mean is getting a credit line to be able to accommodate the growth of the business. What I mean is trying to get resources needed in order to keep your business alive, whether it's resources dealing with capital equipment, whether it's dealing with personnel, whether it's dealing with equipment. So those are a few things that a business that is trying to get started or growing, as far as small businesses, need to consider. Now, if we look at foundational growth, from a foundational standpoint, most businesses need to establish your business plan. If you've been in business for an extended period of time, take the time, not only establish your plan, but go back and review your plan occasionally to make sure that you're meeting certain milestones. So the foundation comes with understanding where you're going, and that roadmap comes through your business plan. So my recommendation to small businesses, get your business plan done, make sure that the tools that you need or the resources that you need to be successful have been identified. Those are just a couple of things that we'll look at on the front end. Now we're talking about starting a business. Now we're talking about growing your business. If you're talking about growing your business, there are certain factors that need to take place. As I mentioned, I work for Dun & Bradstreet. Had the opportunity to go out throughout the state of Illinois. I visited a number of companies in order of setting up their credit rating through what they are doing. Now, what that entails is to get in banking information in place, get you a bank relationship. What that means, getting your suppliers to report the proper things to the credit agency that will be able to give you a 4A1 rating or 1C rating or whatever your rating may be, but get them to report for you and give them the proper information to build your profile. So most businesses that get started try to go to the next level dealing with the federal government. And if you're dealing with the federal government, it requires a DUNS number. So as you interface with them, they will give you a DUNS number and will assist you with getting federal grants, assist you with getting federal contracts, assist you with being able to get federal bid notification, and that will help you grow your business. So that's growing. Now, managing your business. Managing is a whole nother process. That's where you need me. That's where you need a business coach to come in and hold you by the hand. I've made all this money, and now I have found myself at a standstill. I made the money, but I don't know where it went to. I have thrown away a lot of money trying to build my business, but I have not built up the tools to help me sustain my business. So now business coaches said, let's bag back again. Do you have a 401k plan? Have you begun to think about your insurance? Have you gotten in place all of your workers' compensation things that are needed for you to be able to be successful if something happened to me? If I go down and I've started by myself, it's just me. I need to have a disability plan available. I need to be able to pay myself. Now I need to get me a financial advisor to be able to put me an annuity plan together for those type of factors. Those are just three small points. But as we get into strategic planning, each of those will require a capital investment. And this is where most small businesses, we fall back and we don't look at that as being a necessity. We look at that as being something that's going to be costly. So we're trying to keep ourselves above the water rather than looking long term. So keep on staying in business, but keep on improving your business. We've all made mistakes. I'm guilty of it. And so by my mistakes, I try to come away from it by being a little bit more cautious, a little bit more strategic in terms of making those type of moves.
You know, you said something that stuck out to me because I have a lot of friends that own cash businesses or they own tax businesses, and a lot of times I brought that up because we're going into January, and I hope I don't have to. I'm not dating this interview, but you know, going into January, you have a lot of tax business owners, tax preparers, company owners that make a large sum of money in about a 2 to 4 month period. And next thing you know, in, October, December, they right back broke, or, they went on a lot of vacations and they brought a new car. They did all these things. But when you pull the onion back and you look at the inside or inner workings of their business, they don't have insurance set up.
Right.
No 401k, no workers' compensation set up. And that's why most businesses fail in about the first 4 to 5 years, because we don't take the time to have those type of things set up. Now, what advice would you give an individual? Would it be the same advice, a person who started from their home as a home business and they grew out of their home? And, you know, at what point do you say, okay, this is when I need to focus on having insurance for my company? Is it day one? Is it, you know, a year down the line? What advice could you tell somebody in that situation?
Well, you know, it's the come to Jesus scenario. Calm as you are. And what I mean by that, when you start in the beginning of your business, calm, prepared, get you an advisor, a coach, a business consultant that's going to lay that plan out for you. Now, if you've been in business over a period of time, it's not too late. What that means is that you need to go back and rewrite your business plan. Be able to put those milestones back in place, be able to do a post review of the mistakes that you made and try to make it as part of your short-term and long-term objectives to be able to get those things in place. Yes, when you start talking about insurance, that's the first thing to go. Because if we're talking about cash flow, you need to sustain yourself. So unfortunately, we drop our insurance. So it requires a certain discipline. And I can speak from experience. You get it in, you think you're going to live forever. Then it disappears, and then you go, wow, it's too late to do these things that you know you should have done. So it's not a wrong or right answer. It's just discipline. You have to live lean. There's a new process called lean processing. Some people call it Six Sigma, meaning that you do things 99.999% correctly, meaning that you cut the fat off. That's why they call it lean processing. Things that you don't need to do, stop doing it. Things that you need to do correctly, try to start putting those things in practice. And it starts from day one, it starts from day two, it starts from day three, wherever you are.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So, you know, we have a lot of people who are in a situation where they've started their business. They've used all their personal credit up. They overextended themselves to grow their business, had a financial problem or whatever the issue was. They got bad credit now, you know, but the business is still there. They're still working. They're still building their business. You know, what kind of advice would you give a person who has started a business, but they don't have good personal credit? They need loans and funding to grow their company. What advice could you give a person in that situation?
Okay. Well, cash flow is always a problem. Okay. When a person has limited credit, it always put a damper on your ability to be aggressive, to go out and move your business forward. What I would suggest at that point is to take the time to at least evaluate your credit position. Find out how long it's going to take for you to come away from under that barrier of having limited credit to be able to move forward. But don't let that stop you from continuing to plan to move forward, because it moves in parallel. And now you become at a particular, you get at a position where now you need to begin to look at outside funding, not from a normal banking situation. Now you may start talking about, I need an investor. I need someone that has better credit than myself. I need someone that can infuse my company with cash or certain capital investment to help me meet my short-term or long-term objectives. So you have to become creative when you're at a position where you're not in a credit-worthy position, if you're not at a cash flow position, if you are not at a what you call a sales position where you have steady business. So now you are looking at three areas that you need to address. And it gets back to foundational planning. What is my strategic plan to come out of credit? What is my strategic plan to go after investors? What is my strategic plan to build a banking relationship or build a relationship with my customer? See, a customer sometimes will allow you to work with them, and they will infuse you with cash flow. I've assisted a number of construction companies that cannot afford credit to be able to get the supplies. They're not in a position to pay their employees. So we have positions of factoring. Those are agencies that are factoring your receivables. Then the customer sometimes will allow you cash flow in advancement to purchase supplies, to be able to complete that project. So you have to look at your business and really know what your needs are. And you can succeed. Don't let credit stop you. Don't let cash flow stop you. Don't let sales stop you. Walk with your plan, believe in your plan, and work your plan.
Wow. Well, switching gears a little bit, got another question for you. What advice would you tell Ford Corley 20 years ago? What advice would you tell him 20 years ago? Knowing what you know now, what advice would you give yourself if you can go back in time and talk to yourself 20 years ago?
Slow down. Slow down.
Okay.
Rome was not built in a day. I would tell Ford Corley, put your plan together. Put your money aside. Don't spend that money as fast as you get it in. Live very lean. Don't try to impress the world. Stay with your plan and become a little bit more leaner in your spending. Ford Corley, you don't have to travel all over the world. Now there are ways to cut the cost. You got automation, you got computer technology. You don't have to hire 18 people like you had in the past. Don't spend all your money on resources that you really don't need to impress. Make sure that you're living lean, not only on personnel, but on all activities and everything that goes along with my business. I did things, I made a lot of money, and I spent a lot of money. And it was good at the time, but when the brook dried up, I had to start again. So I would say, put that plan together, put an annuity plan together where you'll be able to look back and have that cash set back when things go a little dry, that you can pull from.
Man, that's some of the best advice I've heard all summit. Because a lot of times we want to, the minute you get your credit in order, the first thing you want to do is go get a new car.
That's right.
Get a new house, or, get something that's not going to help you grow your business.
Right.
No, a lot of folks don't want to eat crap for 10 years so they can live in life of luxury for 20 years. They want to do it all on the front end, and then you're struggling on the back end. So that's some excellent advice. Now I got one more question for you before we get out of here. Two more questions. Why Triple C Consulting Global Corporation? Why should somebody work with Triple C Consulting Global Corporation?
Well, Triple C Consulting Global Corporation has a focus to assist, a focus that will be able to hand carry you with a personal touch. So many times, businesses can help you, but we give you a personal touch, a hands-on service that will be able to take you to the next level. Triple C Global Corporation has been put in place to be able to go beyond the norm. We are living in a global society, so now we have to start thinking global. We can't think regional, we can't think national. We have to look global because influence is global. You can touch right now global. Everything that we do is global. So we have to build our mindset to be able, how can I engage on a global level? How can I engage on a national level? How can I engage on a regional level? So Triple C will spark your thought, set you in a mindset that we can make it. Now let's put the plan together to make it.
Excellent. Okay. One more question, our last question for today. If you had a brand new client, new company, new business, and they needed to improve their business credit score or profile in 30 days in order to get some extra funding, a loan, or an investor wanted to see their DNB score, their paydex score at a certain rate. What steps would you have them take in order to get their rating at a AAA rating in 30 days?
Okay. Well, the thing that we need to really consider when we're talking about credit restoration, everything that you do, it deals with an assessment. Do the first things first. Pull your credit report. Be able to do an assessment of the things that are real, things that are not real on your credit report. Get all those things deleted that shouldn't be there. Start with the basics and then begin to challenge those things that you think has an error in it, or those things that may not have an error in it, and try to begin to build that back up. Now, if you are in a position where you're just not credit worthy, you have filed bankruptcy, you have put yourself in a position where 30 days is just not possible. You have to be realistic about what you're trying to do. You don't try to fool anyone that you're going to make bankruptcy go away in 30 days. It's not going to happen. You will probably have to look at that credit worthiness situation and say, look, we can clean up all of these things that we have in place. We have put in our chapter 13, our chapter 11. We have tried to restructure our business. We have tried to restructure our personal things that we have built those relationships. And now let's begin again. So I'm not advocating bankruptcy by any means. I'm telling you to get a new start. Sometime you have to restore and you have to kind of make those things go away that you cannot deal with to get to where you want it. Bankruptcy is not the first choice, but it's not a choice that will stop an individual from growing if they have the right plan in place to come out of it.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, Mr. Corley, we definitely appreciate your time, appreciate the wisdom that you've given the audience today. Definitely, I got some good nuggets. I'm going to go back and watch this 2-3 times myself, and hopefully we can get you back on in one of our podcasts that we're going to be rolling out to give some nuggets to a lot of people that really, really need that information, need those tools in order to grow to the next level. Now, can you go ahead and give them your website, your social media profiles, so they can know how to reach you?
Well, you can reach me at mcorley@mail.org. You can also call me. Feel free to call me at 601-968-7089. And most of you are on social media, so you can reach me at TRIPLE Consulting Global Corporation. And that will bring you right into my Facebook and my social media. My website is now under development again, so we can give you the global perspective of where we're going. But those are just a couple of areas. Feel free. Call me anytime.
Great, man. We appreciate it. Our time is up. Again, we definitely hope we can get you back on. And folks, that's our top speaker for today, Mr. Merdith Corley of the Triple C Consulting Global. Triple C Consulting Global, folks. Go check him out. Got a lot of information for you, and we'll see you next time on our next interview. Bye for now.